welcome to Bottoms Down Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm glad you've joined us for our Chair Yoga Beginner Series. This series will set the groundwork for success in your chair yoga practice. We'll start at the beginning and work through fundamentals, focusing on form and technique with gentle poses. And let's get started. So just thinking about for a moment the definition of yoga. It is the connection of mind, body, and breath. Now, as we begin each class, we're going to focus on all three of these elements. So the first thing we're going to do is sit up nice and tall in our chair. We're moving forward, and we're going to take a moment to ground our sits bones to the chair. So we have those pointy bones that we sit on, and I want you to think about having those on that chair equally weighted. And then we're going to ground our feet to the earth. So the same idea. So we have all four pressure points of both feet firmly planted on the floor. Our hands are going to rest lightly on our thighs, and we're going to flip our palms up to the ceiling. Close your eyes. And then just breathe your natural breath. Now let's begin to elongate that breath. So that just means inhaling a little more deeply and exhaling a little more completely. Do that a couple more times. And then breathe normally. Now we're going to move that breath down into the belly, that diaphragmatic breath. So what we want to do is think about as you inhale, we're filling our lungs from the bottom up. That belly is going to extend. And as we exhale, we're going to pull the belly button into the spine, pushing the air up and out of the lungs. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Breathe your natural breath. Bring your hands to your heart and set your intentions for today's practice, focusing on what you want to accomplish. One more breath. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. Now we're going to drop our right ear towards our right shoulder. This time we're going to lift the right hand and we're just going to lay it lightly on our head. So don't pull or tug, just letting that head lay there lightly. And then the other hand is just going to press down towards the floor. We have one more breath here. All right, let's bring our hand to our lap. Take the hand off of the head and we're going to lift that head up. How does that feel? Let's do the other side. So we're going to drop our ear to our shoulder first. So stop here for just a moment. We all tend to want to just get that hand up there. So I want you to think about your natural range of motion first, okay? Then let's lift that hand and lay it lightly on the head. Remember, we're not pulling or tugging. We're letting the weight of our hand and a little bit of gravity give us more stretch. Now that opposite arm is going to press down towards the floor beside you. And we're just feeling a little neck stretch here. One more breath. We're going to bring that one hand to the lap, take the other hand off the head, and we're going to lift that head up. All right, nicely done. So we're going to do a wide arm cow pose. I want to bring my hands back behind my head, and I'm going to lift my chin as I squeeze my shoulder blades behind. So we're looking up slightly. Keep your abdominals engaged here. So pull that belly button in, lifting that chin slightly, arms are back. Now we're going to move to cat pose. We're just going to let our head fall. Our hands are going to stay behind our head. Now as you round down, let your elbows fall towards the floor. Don't pull on the head, but you'll get a little more stretch into the back of that neck. Now let's do that again. We're going to lift our elbows up. Think about lifting your chin, but keep your abdominals engaged, belly button to spine, squeezing our shoulder blades back behind, and then we're going to round down, letting that head fall. Okay, let's go ahead and bring our hands down to our lap and take just a moment. Now we're going to do that one more time, and we're going to add a little bit of breath, that yoga breath. If you don't want to do the yoga breath, all you're going to do is breathe normally. Just don't hold the breath. Okay, let's do it again. Arms back behind, lift that chin. We're going to inhale into our cow pose, and we'll exhale into our cat pose. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round down. One more. Inhale, lift up. Now exhale, round down, and we're just going to hold this one for a little bit longer than a normal exhale. So once you finish your exhalation, just breathe your natural breath. One more breath. Bring the hands to the lap, roll it up into a seated position, and take a little break. How did that feel? Okay, we're going to move into mountain pose. We're going to bring our arms down by our side, spreading those fingers wide, pressing those fingertips down towards the floor beside us. Next, we're going to move what I call goalpost arms. You'll hear me call it goalpost arms, maybe goddess arms, maybe cactus arms. It's all kind of the same pose. This part of the arm needs to be parallel to the mat. Okay, so see if you can get them lifted to where that part of the arm is parallel. Now squeeze your shoulder blades back behind. Your abdominals are engaged here, belly tight, shoulders down. Now we're going to extend those arms up to the ceiling. Now if you want to leave your elbows bent, it's fine. Just think about extending the hands up, even though the elbows are bent. But if you're with me, we're going to go ahead and extend them all the way up. But notice how I'm pulling my shoulders down, right? So we don't want the shoulders up here. We want to pull those shoulders down. And let's release it. And then we're going to do that again. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. Arms down. Spread those fingers. Active pose. Goalpost arms. We're going to squeeze those shoulder blades back behind us. Belly is tight. Now extending your mountain up to the ceiling. Stretching it up. Belly tight. Here we go. Right hand is going to grab left wrist. We're going to lengthen up and we're going to lean our mountain. Oh, yeah. Feel that stretch. I'm pulling gently, right? I'm pulling gently. I'm keeping this sits bone and that foot down. I'm not letting it hike up. And we're going to come up. Now let's grab the opposite wrist. Lengthen up to the ceiling. And then we're going to lean that mountain. Oh, yeah. Feeling that stretch. One more breath here. Come on back up. Bring the hands down and take a little break. How's that feel? The next pose we're going to do is called Half Lord of the Fishes. We're going to start with our leg. We're taking our right knee and opening it. Now, you've got one knee facing me and you've got one knee facing this wall. So we want to try to get these legs into this 90-degree position. All right? So thinking about that. Now, we're going to take our left hand and we're going to open it. We're going to bring that left arm to your waist. You're going to extend your spine, pull this right shoulder back, and then we're just going to do a little rotation and look over that right shoulder. So at this point, what I would like for you to do, keep your hands, your upper body where it is. I want you to look down at your left knee. Is it folding in? Right? What I will see inevitably in my in-person classes is this knee folding in. You've got to keep it open, all right? Here we go. Let's bring that arm up and open it back up. And we're going to do that again. We're going to bring that hand across our body. We're going to grab our waist, extend the spine, pull the shoulder back, rotate and look. Hold and breathe. One more breath here. Go ahead and release that and face forward. Okay, let's do the other side. So left knee is going to open. Remember, you've got one knee facing me and one knee facing this wall. All right, take a moment, get that feeling first. Make sure you're keeping those knees open. Here we go. Right arm is going to open nice and wide. We're going to bring it across our body to our waist. Now don't skimp on this extension of the spine part. We want that spine to be nice and long, and then we're going to rotate and look over the back of our chair. And release. And let's do that again. We're going to bring that arm out and bring it across your body, grab your waist, extend the spine, pull the shoulder back, rotate, and look. We have one more breath here and release. Let's go ahead and face forward and grab a sip of water. So we're going to move into a warrior two pose. We're going to add a reverse warrior and a side angle pose. And so basically, you may hear people talk about a vinyasa or a vinyasa flow. All that means is that we're going to take a few poses and we're going to put them together. So we're going to take them each individually first, and then we're going to add them kind of as a flow. So the first pose is warrior two, and we're going to take our right knee and we're going to open it to this 90 degrees. One knee is facing me, and one knee is facing that wall. Now, as you move into your warrior two, what you want to do is rotate. You see what I'm doing? I'm rotating my upper body to face forward, keeping this knee where it is and open, and then we're going to bring our arms out to the side. This is warrior two pose. Well, a version of it. There's a few different ways we do warrior two. All right, shoulders are down out of the ears. My spine and my neck, so my head, neck, and spine are in alignment. All right, so my upper body is straight, it's vertical, okay? Arms are parallel to the floor, shoulders are down out of the ears. So that's fundamentally what we want to really be thinking about anytime we do a warrior two, is arms out, shoulders down, spine long, and in alignment. Now, to reverse our warrior, what we're going to do is turn our gaze over our right fingertips, and we're going to flip our right palm to the ceiling. We're going to lift that palm up towards the ceiling as our left hand comes down to the chair, okay? So I want you to really extend up. Try to touch the ceiling, and then you're going to come past the midline of the body, and there's your reverse warrior. So I'm looking up. If that feels okay, if looking up doesn't feel good to you, you're going to look out, and that's absolutely fine. So there's our reverse warrior. Now, the third pose that we're going to add is called side angle pose. So now the hand that's in the air is going to come back down onto our thigh, and we're going to keep our palm facing up and let your weight kind of rest on that thigh. Now, the important part of our side angle pose is that this chest stays open, okay? So we're just going to place our left hand on our waist, and we're going to think about opening up that chest. So inevitably, what I will see in my in-person classes is this shoulder dipping down. It's a lot easier to hang out here, isn't it? Right? So we want to think about lifting up and pulling that shoulder back. All right, are we ready? Let's come back to that warrior two. What's going to happen? I'm going to bring those ribs back to the center of the body, right? Shoulders stay down, arms are parallel to the mat. I'm going to look over those right fingertips, and I'm going to flip that right palm to the ceiling. I'm going to bring it up towards the ceiling. Remember, extension, extension, extension. Then we come past the midline of the body. That left hand is on the chair for support. We have one more breath. We're going to come back to that warrior two, and then we're going to release, okay, and bring that knee forward. All right, so now let's do the other side, okay? So left knee is going to open nice and wide. So here we are in that 90 degrees. One knee faces forward, one knee faces out to the side. Remember, rotate the center of the body forward. We're going to bring our arms up, okay? Shoulders are down out of the ears. Belly is tight. This knee is not folding in. Think about your alignment. Now let's look over our left fingertips. Flip your left palm to the ceiling. Now that palm is going to lift up like you're trying to touch the ceiling. We're going to bring our right hand to the chair, extending up. Then we're going to try to come past the midline of the body for a reverse warrior. Remember, looking up is fine. Looking out is fine too if you prefer it. We're going to come back to that warrior two. Now, we're going to flip that left palm to the ceiling and we're going to put that forearm on that thigh. This hand is going to come to our waist and we're going to try to rotate our chest open. Okay? So try not to let yourself collapse. Try to lift up, use your abdominals. Side waist muscles are working. We've got a little bit of back working here. One more breath. We're going to come back out to that warrior two. Let's reverse it one more time. Flip that palm up to the ceiling. Remember, we're trying to touch the ceiling first. Opposite hand on the chair for support. Come past the midline of the body. Reversing warrior, reverse warrior. Back up we go to that warrior two. Bring your hands down and bring your feet forward. Okay. So I want to do that again with a little bit more fluidity, okay? I think we can do it. We're going to do our first vinyasa flow here in our class. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is bring that knee forward or out to the side, right? One knee faces forward, one knee faces to the side. Rotate the center of the body forward, bring those arms out to the side, shoulders down, arms are parallel to the mat, ribs in the center of the body. Look over your right fingertips. Flip that right palm to the ceiling. Up we go. Reverse your warrior. We're going to come back to that warrior two, and we're going to put the fleshy part of that right arm on the fleshy part of the leg, and we're going to lift our heart open. If you want to leave this hand out, that's fine. If you want to place it on your waist, that's fine. One more breath here. Back to that warrior two. Flip that palm to the ceiling. Reverse your warrior up and back. Feel that stretch. We're going to come back to our warrior two. Side angle pose. Back to that warrior two. Last time, flip the palm to the ceiling, reverse your warrior up and back. Back to your warrior two, side angle pose. Now we're going to come back to our warrior two. You'll hear me talk about squeezing the bones against the muscles against the bones in the arms. What I mean by that is I want you to squeeze so that if I came over and tried to pull your arm down, I couldn't. So activate that upper body. Squeeze, 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 and release. Face forward. All right, other side. Here we go. Bring that knee open. Rotate those ribs forward. Bring those arms out, parallel to the mat. Shoulders down, belly tight. Here we go. Warrior two pose. Flip that palm to the ceiling. Reverse our warrior up and back. Back to your warrior two, side angle pose. Remember, lifting through that heart. If you want to keep that hand out or on the waist is fine. Are we ready? Back to that warrior two. We're going to flip that palm to the ceiling. We're going to reverse our warrior up and back. Feel that stretch in that sideways. Back to that warrior two. Into our side angle pose. Okay, one more time. Ready? Here we go. Warrior two. Reverse our warrior up and back. Back to our warrior two. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in the arms. One more breath. Bring your hands down and bring that knee forward. Okay. So we're going to add a warrior one to this same flow. So in our warrior one, let's go ahead first and take our right knee and open it. I want you to be a little bit forward in your chair. So we're just going to do the legs first. So this knee for warrior one, all that's going to happen is that knee is going to drop down towards the floor. And I'm going to rotate and I'm going to face this way. All right, let's do that again. Bring that knee up. Now, if you need to move your foot a little bit, fine. Right? Find the spot so that when this knee drops down, let's do it again, that knee can drop straight down. And then bring that foot up. Okay? So let's do that one more time, just the knee. Knee drops down. I'm rotating, and the knee comes up. Okay? All right, so that's really the hardest part of this series is getting the legs situated. Okay, so we're going to start in a warrior two. We just did this one, right? Now, to come to warrior one, start with this back hand. It's going to come down and around as that knee drops, and then hands are going to go to the ceiling. All right, here's a warrior one pose. I'm facing the side wall. Now let's rotate back to that warrior two. And let's do that again. Ready? Down and around and up we go. And back to that warrior two. Let's do that one more time. Ready? Down and around to warrior one. Now let's rotate back to that warrior two. Let's add that reverse warrior up and back. And then we're going to come to that side angle pose. And we're going to come back to our warrior two. Let's move to warrior one. Down and around we go. Up, those hands go to the ceiling. And then we're going to rotate back to that warrior two. Are your knees still open? Yeah, I know. Flip that right palm to the ceiling. That knee really wants to fold in, doesn't it? Don't let it. And then back to that warrior two. We're going to do that one. Oh, side angle pose. I almost forgot. Don't forget side angle. And back to that warrior two. Let's do it one more time. Starting with this hand. Down and around to that warrior one. Rotate around to that warrior two. Flip that palm up and back. Reverse your warrior. And let's come to that side angle pose. And then we're going to come back to our warrior two. And release. Bring that knee in. How'd that feel? Are you feeling a little stretch and work in that hip? I know, right? So warriors are strength building poses. So we're building some strength in those legs. Let's do the other side. Okay, so remember we're going to start in that 90 degrees with our legs. Let's move a little bit forward. Now, all I'm going to do, I'm going to drop that knee down. So I'm going to kind of figure out the right place for my foot. This is not it. I'm going to bring that foot in just a little bit. And I'm going to adjust on my chair just a little bit too. So right, we want to rotate to where we're facing this way. Okay, let's do that again. Rotate back, bring that knee up. And then we're just going to do the leg, right? Bring that knee down. Okay, let's do it again. Knee comes up. Are you feeling like you've got that foot in the right place now? Drop it down. Okay, now let's come back up and let's add the arms. Bring those arms out to the side, warrior two. Now, starting with your back hand, you're going to bring it down and around to warrior one. Arms are going to go up to the ceiling. Starting with that right hand, you're going to windmill back around to that warrior two and face forward. Let's do that again. Down and around and up we go to that warrior one. Rotate around to that warrior two. We're going to do that one more time. Down and around to that warrior one. Rotate around to your warrior two. Let's add our reverse warrior. Flip your palm to the ceiling. Up we go. Opposite hand to the chair for support. Reverse your warrior. We're going to come back to our warrior two, and we're going to come to our side angle pose. Remember, this hand can be on the waist if you feel better. Make sure that chest stays open. Let's come back to our warrior two. Starting with our back hand, down and around to warrior one, arms to the ceiling. Rotate around to warrior two. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in the arms. Flip that palm to the ceiling. Up we go. I know there's a lot to think about, isn't there? And back to that warrior two, and we're going to go to our side angle pose. Back to our warrior two. Let's do it one more time. Warrior one, we got a little vinyasa flow going here. Back to our warrior two. Flip your palm to the ceiling. Reverse our warrior up and back. We're going to come back to warrior two and go to our side angle pose. Let's go back to that warrior two. Squeeze. One more breath. Release. And face. Let's grab a sip of water. Let's come to standing on the right side of our chair, and then we're going to turn and we're going to face the seat of our chair, okay? Now, hold on, it's fine. Take a little step back. Then we're going to hinge forward and we're going to place our hands in the seat of our chair and then bring the weight forward, okay? Now, I'm going to show you a couple of options for your hand placement. If you've got wrists that aren't happy with you being on your palms here, one thing you can do is make a fist, and so you're up on your fists, and then that keeps the wrist straight. Another option is you can hold on to the sides of the chair, okay? And that also is going to help you keep your wrist a little straighter. So those are all really good options. Okay, so pick your hand placement. I'm going to go ahead and have my palms just flat in the chair. I'm going to take another little step back, and I'm going to bring my weight forward again. So now this is going to get me in position for a forward fold. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to bend my elbows, and I'm going to let my heart begin to fall forward. Keep your back flat. Keep your head lifted. All right, so we're not going to let the head go below the heart. Here we are in a forward fold. Let's bend our knees and roll it up into a standing position. So how does that feel? Okay, let's do that one more time. Nice long spine. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. Place your hands in the seat of the chair. Your hand placement. Bring your weight forward. Let the heart fall. So I'm just bending my elbows a little bit, right? Keeping the back flat, looking out beyond my chair. So I'm kind of looking out. I'm not looking down. Keeping that heart, head above the heart. One more breath, bend the knees and roll it up. Okay. So now I'm not going to do that on the other side of the chair. We will when we do our whole flow. But for right now, I think we kind of got that sensation. Now, the next pose we're going to work on is a warrior one from this position. So we're facing our chair. Now, the leg next to the back of the chair is the foot you're going to step under, okay? So make sure that it's your left foot. So don't get confused because I'm mirroring you, right? The leg next to the back of the chair, that's the one. Now, the other leg is going to step back and the heel is going to go down onto the floor. Your foot is at an angle, okay? So the foot isn't straight to where the heel is here, it's at an angle. Turn those hips to face the chair and bend your front leg. Bring your hands to heart. So here we are in a standing warrior one pose. Belly tight, lengthen through the tailbone. Now, hands can go up to the ceiling if you want. I'm personally going to leave my hands at heart. So let's go ahead, if you've got your arms extended, let's go ahead and bring them back to our heart. And now we're going to move into pyramid pose. We're going to straighten our front leg. Keep your hands at heart or hold your chair. And we're going to hinge forward. Don't bend that front knee. Pyramid pose. Now, if you want to put your hands in the seat of the chair, absolutely fine. Bend your front knee, and we're going to lift back up into that warrior one. So we've got some work happening on that front leg, don't we? Let's do that again. Straighten that front leg. Bow forward. Pyramid pose. Hands to chair if you wish. When you come into your pyramid pose, take your thumb of that left hand, put it right here in where the hip and the leg meet, and pull that hip back. That hip wants to come forward, doesn't it? Right? We want to keep that hip back. All right, bend the front knee. Come back to that warrior one. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do that series from the other side of the chair and see how we feel, because we still have another add-on. And then we're going to flow. All right. The foot next to the back of the chair, right? That's the one that steps under. The other leg steps back, heel down. Remember, it's at that 45-degree angle. If you want to heel toe that front foot out a little bit, fine. Get those hips around. Pull that belly in. Lengthen through that tailbone. Okay, here we are in our warrior one pose. Bending that front knee a little bit more if you can. Bring your hands to your heart. Now we're going to move to pyramid pose. We'll straighten our front leg, and then we're just going to bow forward and place our hands in the seat of the chair and let that heart fall forward. Bend the front knee. Press through that front foot. Lift that heart back into that warrior one. Straighten your front leg. Nice long spine. Inhale. Exhale, down we go. If you want to keep hands to heart, that's absolutely fine. Or hands to the chair. Keep this hip back, right? Hip back. Bend the front knee. Back to warrior one we go. Last time. Straighten that front leg. Hinge forward. Pyramid pose. Bend the front knee. Press up into that warrior one. And release. Okay. Everybody feeling pretty good with that? So now let's come back to the other side. The thing we're going to add is a cat and a cow. And then we're going to put all of that together. And we're going to make a flow out of it. Okay? So here we are. We're facing our chair. We've got a little step back. Now, in our cat and our cow, what we're going to do is just like we did at the very beginning. We're going to come forward, place our hands in the seat of the chair, and bring the weight forward. Remembering that you've got those different hand placements, right? You can be on fists or you can be holding the side of your chair. Bring that weight forward. Now, for our cow pose, we're going to drop our belly as we lift our heart and lift our hips. For our cat pose, we're going to pull our belly button to our spine, round our back, tuck our chin, and let that head fall. And let's do that again. Dropping the belly, lifting the heart, lifting the hips, and then rounding into that cat pose. Let that head fall. Let's do that one more time. Drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the hips, and then we're going to round down into that cat pose. Come back to neutral spine, step forward, and come up. Okay, how did that feel? So now what we're going to do is we're going to start in our cat and cow. We'll add our forward fold. We'll step into that warrior one, into the pyramid, and we're going to flow through those poses. Okay? All right. It's going to be fun. It is. All right. Let's take a step back. We're going to hinge forward. Our hands in the seat of the chair. Bring the weight forward. Drop your belly. Lift your heart. Cow pose. Pull your belly button to your spine. Round that back. Cat pose. Let's do that again. Dropping the belly. Lifting the heart. Lifting those hips, cow pose. Pull the belly button to the spine, around the spine. Tuck the chin into cat pose. Now come to neutral spine. Bring your weight forward. Let your heart fall forward into that forward fold. Go ahead and lift up into a standing position. Leg next to the back of the chair steps forward. Other foot steps back. Heel is down. Hips are forward, hands to the ceiling, warrior one, bend the front knee. Bring your hands to your heart. Pyramid pose, straighten your front leg. Hinge forward into your pyramid pose. Let your hands fall to the chair. Lift back to that neutral spine. Front foot is going to step back. You're going to come into your cat and cow. Drop the belly, lift the heart. I'm a little bit out of alignment. There we go. And then pull that belly button in, round that spine. Tuck that chin. Do it again. Drop the belly. Lift the heart. Lift the hips. Round into that cat pose. Tuck that chin. Let that head fall. Come back to that neutral spine. Bring your weight forward. Let that heart fall. Forward fold. Left foot steps forward, right foot steps back, heel is down. Press into your warrior one. Let's just do hands to heart. Everybody okay? You're following? Straighten your front leg. Hinge forward into pyramid pose. Remember, keep that hip back. One more breath here. Bend the front knee. We're going to come up and release. We get to try it again on the other side. Here we go. Move to the other side. Have you kind of got the flow now? All right. Take a little step back. Hinge forward, hands to the seat of the chair. Bring the weight forward. Place your hands wherever you want. All right, here we go. Cow pose. Drop the belly, lift the heart. Pull the belly button in and around that spine. Tuck that chin. Let's do that again. Cow pose. Belly falls, heart lifts. Drop the, pull the belly button to spine. Drop the head. Come to neutral spine. Bring that weight forward. Let the upper body sink for that forward fold. Right foot steps forward. Left foot steps back. Heel is down. Front knee is bent. Up we go to that warrior one. There's your power move, right? Strength building move. Belly tight. Bring your hands to your heart. Pyramid pose. Straighten that front leg. Bow forward. Keep that leg straight. Feel that stretch in that front leg. Pyramid pose. Hands to the chair. Front leg steps back. Bring your weight forward. Ready? Cow pose. Drop the belly. Lift the heart. Lift the hips. Cat pose. Pull that belly button to spine. Rounding. Let's do that again. Drop the belly. Lift the heart. Lift the hips. Cat pose. Belly button to spine. Weight forward. Let that upper body sink down for that forward fold. Step it forward. Other foot back. Hands to heart. Warrior one. Belly tight. Straighten your front leg. Bow forward into pyramid. One more breath here. Bend the front knee, lifting that heart back up. We're going to step out of that. Have a seat. And grab a sip of water. We're going to move into half Lord of the Fishes pose. We're going to take our right knee and open it. Left knee is going to stay open. We're going to take our left hand and we'll open it nice and wide. We're going to bring it all the way across our body and place it on our waist. Extend the spine nice and long. Pull your right shoulder back. Rotate and look over that right shoulder. Now leave your legs where they are. Take that left hand and open it back up. And then we're going to bring it across our body. We're going to place it on our waist. Extend the spine long. Pull the right shoulder back. Rotate and look over that right shoulder. Hold and breathe. One more breath here and release. Face forward. Okay, let's do the other side. So left knee is going to open. I've got one knee facing me and one knee facing this other wall. My right arm is going to open up nice and wide, and I'm going to bring it across to my waist. Extend the spine long. Pull the left shoulder back. Rotate and look over that shoulder. And release it, and let's do it one more time. Arm opens up. Bring it across the body, place it on your waist. Nice long spine, left shoulder pulls back, rotate and look over that shoulder. One more breath here and face forward. Nicely done. Okay, so we're going to do a heel, toe, goddess legs. And we're going to drop our right shoulder right between those legs and feel the stretch. We'll lift that shoulder up, and then we're going to do the other side. Dropping the shoulder down, straight down between our legs, feeling the stretch. And up we go. Let's do that again. So as I drop that shoulder down, I'm feeling my shoulder stretch. I'm also feeling some arm, a little bit of side waist, and up we go, and then we're going to do the other side. and release. All right, nicely done. Let's go ahead and sit back in our chair, and we're going to move into Shavasana pose. So this is our resting pose at the end of every class. You can lean back in your chair if you want to. That's fine. Hands are going to rest lightly on our thighs, and we'll flip our palms to the ceiling. Let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out.
What's done? When you slip up, when you disappoint yourself, make note of it and vow to do better. But don't be too hard on yourself. There are benefits that come from being firm about exercising control over your behavior going forward. But there's nothing to be gained by wallowing in guilt about what's already been done or not done. Give yourself a break, get over it, and take the opportunity to move into a positive frame of mind. What's done is done, and you've learned from it, so put the lesson to good use. Look forward and consider all the good you can do. Step forward and take sober, measured, effective actions. Transform the weight of regret into the energy of determination. Point that energy in a positive, meaningful direction and get busy doing something great.
Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with the hands. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for participating today. Keep showing up, like the video, leave a comment, click subscribe, and consider joining the membership channel for ad-free classes, special programs, and other perks. And I will see you